Ash.
My name is Harriet Morley. I am an artist based in The Hague, and I work with building, making, constructing, and welding. And I explore work that thinks about labour in technical-based spaces. As an artist, I'm really interested in hard work and soft work. So what I mean by that is I'm really interested in hard skills, so technical skills, skills that you learn in workshop environments. And I'm also very interested in soft skills, so soft work, so mediation, communication, and the relationships that are built within the spaces of workshops. And combining those things, the work I make mediates those kind of conversations, explores what it is to be a woman working in those kind of spaces, not only thinking about the work itself, but the process of making the work. So often the pieces that come out of workshops or group work that explore the techniques focus mostly on the process, and the outcomes are ways of thinking materially or sculpturally or functionally about what's possible in those kind of spaces. Tooling the Gate is a iteration of my ongoing research into hard work and soft work. It's a site-specific work for the balcony as a division between the exhibition space and the workspace. It was a way to explore a new process of making, more figurative, more decorative, but also explore how I could implement a division in workspace within the balcony.
I'm Alexis Gautier. I'm a French artist based in Brussels and Brittany in France, where I grew up. I have a work which is very connected to encounters and cultural transactions and movement between places and people, and the exchanges and economies of that as well. So it touches upon textile as one tool to have dialogues with people and one tool of these cultural transactions. It touches upon video as a type of performances, of actions and encounters. And maybe it touches upon drawing as a sort of way of building notes for the future, fabulations and archive of ideas. The textile pieces are connected to an encounter with a tailor from the north of Italy, from San Fermo del Battaglia, who had the habit of cutting exclusively stripes in a diagonal direction of a 45-degree angle. And so his entire life, all his suits and clientele were dressed in those diagonal suits. So from that anecdote and from that encounter, together with Casper Bosmans, Belgian artist, we translated that anecdote into a small painting. We transformed it into a sort of an allegory that would retell the story through symbols and images. And we sent the painting to Julius Walter, who's a weaver in England since 9 generations. He works as a silk weaver. Julius made his own interpretation through a jacquard weaving machine, which is a very old technique from the 1850s, and which is based on binary codes and punch cards. It's a machine that allowed the invention of computering technologies afterwards, so I like that sort of analogy between weaving and language and computering. The images tell, let's say, about the fabrication of it, but also the technical aspect of the 45-degree cut in the bias of the fabric and the flexibility that the fabric gains when you hold it in this direction. Sand pile, nude descending staircase. It's an intervention that I've made during a residency time in Shanghai. The video is documentation of myself sculpting steps down piles of sand which are on a cargo boat on the river. It's an act of repetition and reproduction of a former intervention that I had done in the past with artist Max Pinkers. And this exists as a photograph which I wanted to reproduce. And so I asked one of the boat drivers if I could reproduce that staircase pattern on the sand piles. I like somehow the idea of the river as a non-space. I think it's a space that is connected to this global transactions between countries and geographies, and it doesn't really belong anywhere, but it's a space of movement. And it's also about the idea of the transportation of the work as a piece of the work, how to put the work in movement.